So, namaskar, everyone. Also, namaskar to all of those who are viewing on Zoom and who are also viewing online. We want to welcome you to our Sunday workshop. And today, the excitement is going to be all about breath, breathing for maintaining optimal health and wellness for the body. My name is Sri Devi. I will be one of your facilitators today, along with Krishna Priya, who will come in a little bit later. But before we get into the essence of what we'll speak about today, let's start with a centering. Let's begin by closing our eyes and coming into a quiet space inside. Let's bring ourselves into the present moment, being in the here, in the now, and really working on making connection with our bodies. We follow our breath as we breathe all the way down through the base of the spine. And as we take our time and inhale all the way up from the base of the spine, through the stomach, through the chest, through the upper chest, and up to the crown. In these moments, when we make connection with our body, we hold all of our cells in a loving space. We bring our field into one of healing. And we open ourselves to be totally receptive to every way that we are working with the body. We spend a few moments breathing deeply and giving way to this life force energy, or what we call prana. And as we begin today, we will honor prana, this life force energy, with a sacred prayer that says, all three worlds are governed by prana. O prana, protect us as a mother would protect her sons. Bless us with affluence and intelligence. We're going to put the words up on the screen for you so that you can also follow the prayer. I will sing one line and you can repeat. Pranasyedam vase sarvam. Om pranasyedam vase sarvam. Tridive yat pratishtitam. Tridive yat pratishtitam. Mateva putra rakshasva. Mateva putra rakshasva. Srischa prajnascha videinahiti. Srischa prajnascha videinahiti. And take a moment to allow the mantra to resonate in your being. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, welcome back, everyone, and welcome again to our workshop. Today, it's all about the excitement of breath and breathing to its full capacity and to its full potential for the most well being for our body. Let's begin with the excitement of breathing. Just going to pull up our slide here. Okay. Why do we focus on the breath? Simply because the breath is life. Without breathing, we cannot exist. Without breathing, our physical bodies cannot function. But our breath is such an underrated tool for being able to manage the mind, the emotions, and everything that happens in the physical body. And when we are in such a time when we are challenged by physical illnesses, using the breath to its greatest extent with all of our awareness and how we breathe to benefit the body is extremely important. So, here we can see that the breath is extremely important in managing the mind. And here is why. In the ancient science of yoga, it is believed that all diseases start in the mind. And subsequently, they trickle down into the physical body. So, why is pranayama an effective tool that we can use? Patanjali, who designed the 8 limbs of yoga, put pranayama as a method for purifying the entire body. And this is so that we can clean the mind and we can even move into higher states of consciousness. But it must start with cleaning all of the impurities in the body to better manage what is happening in the mind and subsequently in the body. When we say pranayama, we are so used to hearing this word in conjunction with breathing. Pranayama, in its literal sense, means the regulation of life force energy, or what we know as prana. And in the Vedas, in the Prana Upanishad, it literally defines prana as the basic entity from which the entire universe is made up. And in simple terms, we know prana to be currents of energy that flow within us. In our physical body, we have 5 pranas that literally govern every single function that happens in the body. So the first is prana. And prana, again, which we know comes from breathing, okay? And prana has an upward flow in the body and also a downward flow in the body. The next is udana, which is an upward flow of energy. And this can be seen in the body when we do things like cough or movements like vomiting. Even in speaking, this upward flow of energy is being used. This is the udana current flowing in the body. Then we have vyana, which starts in the chest and is an energy current that moves throughout the entire body. And vyana is responsible for the circulation in the entire body. Remember, these are currents that flow and help us operate the physical body. After vyana, we have samana. Samana helps with the digestion in the body, after which comes apana. Apana is a downward flowing current of energy. And this is responsible for excretions, procreations, eliminations, everything that happens to eliminate in the body or that is surrounded in the lower body and moving out. So these are the five main pranas that govern everything that happens in our physical bodies. Taking it a little bit further, in the same way that yesterday we heard that there are energy channels in the Chinese system, in the yogic system, we have 72,000 subtle energy channels that work to govern our entire system. Now, these are subtle energy currents, cannot be seen by the physical body, but that work to purify our entire system. And when we breathe, we are working with three main channels here, or currents of energy. The first is Ida, which when we inhale comes through the left nostril. It's a cooling current in the body, and it also affects our right brain. Then, the other side, we have Pingala, which is a heating current in the body, and it affects our left brain. Then, these channels are governed by the main energy channel in our system, which flows along our spine, the Sushumna Nadi, which you can see here highlighted by yellow. So when we breathe, these two channels are extremely operational. They're affecting both sides of the brain, and they are being governed by this main energy channel that sits along our spine. So, in this main energy channel, it is said that the Kundalini, this Shakti energy, also flows. And if you see on the diagram, these two channels cross over the entire body. So, when we are doing pranayama, we are using these channels mainly as we inhale the breath, it goes in through the nose. And as we exhale, it comes down and affects the entire body. And in breathing exercises that you will see a little bit later, the Nadhi Shuddhi, as an example, we are literally working these two channels to balance both hemispheres of the brain and subsequently the channels in the body. Okay? And as we breathe, another point which is important to mention is that we have an energy point that sits at the base of our skull and the top of our spine. That is called the medulla point. And this point is important to keep in mind because it is also a point that stores energy when we breathe. So, although we physically cannot breathe into this point acts as a direct link between the prana, which is happening in the spine, the same channel I just spoke about, the Sushumna, the main spine, or the main channel, and it connects to the brow. So when you breathe, focusing into this medulla point can also be beneficial energetically. Again, it connects the main governing channel to that of the brow. Okay? So what happens in our energy system in these 72,000 nadis that brings disease into the body? Diseases happen when there are blocks. in this energy system. And by doing pranayama, we are literally working to clear the impurities from all of these energy channels. And here I have an example in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, which says when the whole system of nadis, which is full of impurities, is cleaned, then the yogi becomes able to control all of the pranas. The five pranas we spoke about, and the master prana that's governing all of these 72,000 channels. Now, if we look at the opportunity that we have here, we are working our bodies both on a physical level, but as we just saw, on a completely energetic level, we're working with the breath to enhance our entire system. When we breathe with the capacity to nourish each of our cells in a very unique way, to cleanse each of the cells from the top of our heads all the way down to our toes of any stagnant energy that is not flowing. And we are moving our bodies, opening ourselves to physically breathe, and with total awareness that our whole system is being cleansed. This is the opportunity we have through breath. So now I am so pleased to invite Krishna Priya, who will speak about the physiology of breathing and take us into the first set of exercises. I will see you all a little bit later. Just give us a couple of minutes.
Namaskar, everyone, and welcome back today. I see some of you that were yesterday with us in the Zoom, and I'm so pleased that we continue to stay prepared for our healing process. So, as Sri Devi spoke so beautifully about the subtle process that is happening when we breathe, I would like now to introduce to you the physical part of the process, the mechanics of the breathing, their effects on the body, and also that takes us to the subtle part as well. So in the respiration process, it's just simple, it's biological, but I just remind you what it's all about. We breathe through the nostrils, the oxygen, it's going into the lungs, and oxygen is delivered into the circulatory system, and blood runs to the lungs and becomes oxygenated, and nutrients are sending also to all the organs in the body. And also another important aspect is that the carbon dioxide, that it's the toxicity inside of us is generated by the cells. It moves through the lungs and it expels to the breathing out. So on one part, we have the nourishment, the breathing in, and on the other side, we have through exhalation, we have the detoxifying process that is happening throughout the entire system. Now, the breathing, it's about the lungs, isn't it? So let's remember now how the lungs are so important and how we use them. Now, the lungs are very big in our body, and they have the lower part, the middle part, and the upper part. So when we breathe, how do we use the lungs? It's important. Now, the very shallow breathing, it happens in the upper part of the lungs, almost here, in the clavicular area of the body. And I will explain to you after that, how is it that happening. Now, still the stressed and anxious breathing, it happens when we breathe into the middle part of the lungs. But the complete breath, using the capacity of the lungs, it's happening when we use also the lower part of the lungs. And when we use the lower part of the lungs, automatically we also engage the middle part and the upper part of the lungs. So just for you to notice that in your breathing and ask yourself, am I breathing shallow? I'm using only the upper part of the lungs, or am I using also the entire part of the lungs? And you will see the relationship that it's created in the breathing process. Why? Because when we engage the lower part of the lungs, we engage also the diaphragm and the diaphragmatic breathing. Now, this diaphragm, it's invisible. You cannot see it, of course. It's inside of the body. But it's a muscle. It's a dome-shaped muscle, like a parachute, that separates the thoracic and the abdominal cavity. And this one, it's extremely engaged, moving in and out the belly, and also expanding and contracting the chest, and also engaging the lungs. So let's take 1 minute and observe this movement of the diaphragm through a short video, so you can clarify and you can recognize it in your process.
Diaphragm is a thin, dome-shaped layer of muscle and tendon that separates the abdominal cavity from the chest cavity. It gains its shape from its attachments and from the organs that surround it, especially the heart, lungs, and liver. The diaphragm attaches at the costals along the lower rib cage, high in the front at the sternum, and deeply in the back along the spine. The diaphragm also attaches to itself via a central tendon, making the diaphragm one of the unique muscles of the body. The diaphragm uses its central tendon and its attachments as leverage to flatten during inhalation. The expansion of the ribs comes from the resistance of the internal organs to downward movement. As the internal organs are slow to move, the ribs expand to make room for the lungs. While the diaphragm attaches at the bottom of the ribs, its range of motion never reaches that low in the body. As seen from below, we get a sense of the full range of motion of the diaphragm as it would glide over the aorta, the vena cava, the esophagus, and the internal organs. For more information, visit www.3dyoga.com.
Is it interesting? Did you ever thought about it in your breathing process whilst you engage the breath, or even when you don't engage consciously the breath, this muscle is working? Now, let's acknowledge the importance of this diaphragmatic breathing, because especially now into this pandemic, that the stress and panic is going on so much, then also the diaphragm goes into a spasm, and also the breath goes scattered, and therefore the mind and emotions got scattered. And also those that have problems with the heart and the very strong and deep heart rate beating, then this diaphragmatic breathing, it helps a lot to cool down also the heart. So we're gonna do it later. We're gonna engage in consciously this diaphragmatic breathing and see the effects of it. But let's speak more about the breathing process again. Now, this diaphragmatic breathing, named as low abdominal breathing, it stimulates the vagus nerve, that it's the biggest cranial nerve that connects our brain to the major systems in our body. And is that force that drives the parasympathetic nervous system that regulates rest and digest in the body. And also it helps to the lungs, heart, and digestive tract to go into this parasympathetic state of rest and digest. Because the other one, it's when it's fight and flight. So you see how important it's this diaphragmatic breathing, because this vagus nerve, it goes from the brain on the neck, thorax, all the way to the abdomen. So when we engage this belly breathing, actually we massage this nerve and we stimulate the nerve that also it's driving the parasympathetic nervous system. It's extremely important to use this type of breathing into all the activities, especially when you want to relax, cool down, and also eliminate what is unnecessary from your body. Of course, it uses, as I said, the lower part of the lungs. It regulates the heart rate, the blood pressure, reduces inflammation, avoid constipation, because also it's working in the area of the digestive tract. So let's now go into the other part of the breathing, that it's happening in the chest. So the most breathing process happens in the chest and in the belly area. We spoke about the belly breathing, the diaphragmatic breathing. Now let's hear about the chest breathing or thoracic breathing. This one, it it's useful to use it in the body, in the healing process of the body, because it activates the healing neurotransmitters inside of our physical body. So it's like a medicinal process, a chemistry process that happens to nourish our body. That's why when we breathe deeply into the chest, we feel that sense of also of happiness, of joy, releasing these hormones of happiness in the physical body. And as I said, the belly breathing and diaphragm or diaphragmatic breathing, it helps more to the elimination system, discharging the waste from the body, from the lymphatic system, from the excretory system. So these 2 points I wanted to bring it up to you. One is the chest breathing is nourishment. It's exciting our inner system, and the belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing, it brings more detoxifying and also rest and relaxation. We're gonna do some breathing exercises together, that it's cleansing breath, breath of fire, and bellows breath. We're gonna do them together, and we're gonna use this principle of the breathing together. So let's engage ourselves in breathing. Now we're gonna, just a second. Yes, we come back to the Ujjayi breathing after. So let's take a moment together. We have 20 minutes for breathing, effective breathing. Let's take a moment together and observe how we breathe. I like to place my palms on the belly area. As I'm sitting in Shavasana, for example, you can sit on Shavasana if you want. If you stay at home, you want to relax more, or you can sit on a chair, on the front part of the chair, having the spine erect. It's important to have a posture that it's engaged. And, or you can stand up as me, and then you observe the grounding force that is happening in the same time. So I spoke about the diaphragmatic breathing, and you see the diaphragm moving the lungs. So let's take a moment and observe. Let's put the right palm on the belly area and the left palm on the chest. For the moment, let's observe the air coming in and out through the nostrils. Everybody connects with that feeling. And then let's observe how the air goes through the throat. From the throat into the chest area, into the lungs. You observe that it expands the lungs as we breathe in, collapsing the shoulders as we breathe out. We know this process, isn't it? But what is happening in the belly area? Just breathe normally and observe it. Some process is happening there. Now let me guide you to really feel this diaphragm. Now just focus now in the belly breathing. Forget about the chest. While we keep the palm on the chest, just to check if we breathe too much into the chest or not. So let's move our mind, our attention into the belly area. Breathing in, expanding the belly. Breathing out and condense, push the belly to the back. Breathe in, expand the belly. As you expand the belly, you feel the lungs are filling with air. And some pressure goes on the stomach. That is the diaphragm pushing on the stomach. And as you breathe out, the belly goes back inside. The chest contracted, expelling the air, and the belly relaxes and the digestive system relaxes. Let's do it again. Breathe in, open the belly, you observe fill the lungs with air, and you observe something pressing on the stomach. That is the diaphragm. And as you breathe out and releasing air from the lungs, belly goes back inside to the back of the spine, and it relaxes also the digestive system. Let's continue to do it and observe if the belly is moving in and out naturally in this process. Now, if you do it correctly, just let's place the palms on both palms on the belly. If you do it correctly, you don't feel any pressure in the chest. You don't feel any movement of the chest. The shoulders are not raising up. You observe this, how much you breathe with a belly awareness or how much you breathe still with a chest awareness. Breathe in, push the belly out. Feel the lungs only in the belly area, don't go into the chest. Breathe out, belly goes to the back of the spine, everything relaxes, cools down. Now, let's observe the thoracic breathing. Let's place the palm. I hope you really engage into this diaphragmatic breathing and you get the effect out of it and you observe how it is to breathe in the belly efficiently. Now let's take the palms on the chest area. We're gonna use the ribs. We open the rib cage, we're gonna use the ribs, engage the ribs and the middle part of the lungs as well. So let's breathe out. Shoulder collapses, chest condenses, contracts, and let's breathe in. Open the chest, open the ribs to the side. No shoulder raising up, no, only to the side. Breathe out, shoulder collapses, air goes out through the lungs, chest contracts. Breathe in, only in the chest. And breathe out. Breathe in again. And breathe out. Observe the natural process. You still, when you breathe in, feel a pressure on the stomach as the diaphragm lowers down. And when you breathe out, as the shoulders goes down, the belly relax. In and out. Very good. Now, using the third part of the lungs, we use the clavicular area. So here you can just place the palms on the shoulder area. And we start again breathing deeply into the lungs. And then as we feel we breathe deeply, we still go a bit more into the upper part of the lungs. So let's breathe out. In. Out. In. A bit more. Out. Now the hands moves because the chest and the lungs are moving. So don't get caught up in moving the arms without the lungs moving your arms. Breathe in. And out. Shoulder goes down, chest compact. Breathe in. And out. And relax. Let's take a moment now to observe, connect with our lungs, the lower part of the lungs, the middle part of the lungs, and the upper part of our lungs. Allow your breath to happen naturally. Now, this is the complete breath. When you use the whole part of the lungs, it names the yogic breath. And we're going to use it into the cleansing breath, into a more dynamic way. When we're going to breathe out, we whistle the air through the mouth like this. The tongue is pressing up. It's like the snake whistling. And when we breathe in complete breath, opening the belly fully, opening the lower part of the lungs, the middle part of the lungs, all the way up the upper part of the lungs. Don't go fast into the upper part. I'll stay with you, I'll guide you, we'll do it slowly until we catch it. Let's start with breathing out. The rule of thumb in breathing is first breathing out, empty so you can feel. Breathe out. Push the belly to the back, engage the body, firm body. Breathe in. And out. Collapse the shoulders, contract the chest, contract the belly. Breathe in, open. And stay with the 3 stages of the breath. In. 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 3 more dynamic. In. In. Last one. In. Normal deep in breath. Again, normal deep in breath. We can place the palms on the belly, or we can keep them on the chest, or wherever we feel we need them for the body, for our energy body, for the chakra system. And as we take a moment to observe the process, observe if the breathing patterns are changing inside of you. I see somebody yawning there. That's a sign of detoxification happening in the body. Carbon dioxide expels from the body, everything it gets into the detoxifying and nourishment, relaxing. Can you relate with the diaphragm? Can you relate with your lungs, the lower lungs, the middle part of the lungs, the upper part of the lungs? Now, let's do the next breathing exercise, that it's the belly breathing, the breath of fire. Here, the physical breath happens, the physical movement happens more into the belly area, pushing the belly to the spine rapidly with force, and no emphasis should be taken to the breathing in, because the body, it takes care of the breathing in. And when we breathe in and out, we observe that it happens also through the nostrils, as we want to blow a candle with our nose breathing. But the attention should happen in the belly area. It is like this. I'm going to demonstrate first, and then we do it together. So it's rapidly pushing the belly back, to the spine, and the belly comes in naturally. Now let's do it together. You're gonna observe, if you don't have a good training in this process, that you get labor into the muscles of the belly and you feel difficult to engage these belly muscles. But this one will go in time as you practice more. Let's do it together. Breathe out first to the mouth. Breathe in deeply. And we start. No pressure on the chest at all. Excuse. Continue as I feel to drink some water. You observe it's a lot of an exercise in the belly area rather than in the chest. Three, two, one. Breathe out and in and out through the mouth. Breathe in deeply again, 3 stages of the breath. And out. Again, in and out. In and out. Now let's place the palms on the belly area. Go inside and let's observe the process deeply. At the physical level, we might feel a bit of tension in the belly area, in the muscles, if we don't use them regularly to breathe. That is what is happening normally. We feel less pressure in the chest. We feel more vital in the body, more vitality, more grounding, because it really brings also the energy into the lower part of the body. And we feel completely oxygenated, more vibrant, more alive, more clear. And now we feel also the prana stabilized in the belly area naturally. We feel that naturally the prana is moving in and out our belly. Now, the next breathing exercise I would like to present to you, because we don't have so much time to do more rounds of breathing, which is so good to do it in your own practice. But today I would like also to introduce also the bellows breathing. That it's also more thoracic breathing. It engages more the chest. It opens the middle part and the upper part of the lungs. It's very deeply oxygenating the body as the amount of oxygen coming in our system, but also prana, it's coming even more in our system. Because beyond the breath, the oxygen, it's also prana. So here, it's very important to do it in a way that it's safe and it's regulating for the body. So for this one, I'm really advising you to keep a check if you are grounded, if you are stable in the lower part of the body, and do it together with me. We do it slowly and deeply. As we breathe in, we expand the chest. As we breathe out, we release, we condense, and we use the nostrils equally in breath and equal out breath into the breathing. So let's do it together. Just another aspect. Sometimes you can do it with more emphasis in the chest. Sometimes if you want to oxygenate the brain, you can breathe even deeply all the way up into the brain. More into the head or more into the chest. You're going to observe the difference, but be cautious. If you feel dizzy, any dizzy imbalance, you can take your seat, you can relax, and you can always stop. Let's do it together. Breathe out through the mouth. In and out. In and out. In. Only through the mouth. Through the mouth. Equally as balance, as harmony. Enjoying breathing the lungs, breathing into the lungs, out of the lungs, opening the rib cage, drinking the air. Three, two, and one. Again, in deeply, slowly, fully. All the way down, in and out. In and out. Now take a moment to observe the process as we go back to the PowerPoint for the next slide and the next breathing exercise. So before we go into the Ujjayi breathing, as we breathe so deeply into this bellow breath, I'm inviting you to observe the physical process in the body, the chemistry of the body that can be changing, more tingling, more oxygenation, more movement, more circulation in the blood, fluids, if you can connect with them. And at the subtle level, you feel more clear in your emotions, in your mind. You feel more peaceful, more settled. Now, the next breathing technique that is named Ujjayi breathing or victorious breath. It's a very powerful one that also can take us deeper into the subtle breath. And this breathing, we can use it whenever we are. Even when we're driving, even when in our meetings, we can do it slowly and without too much sound, as I'm going to show to you also how to do that. You can do it whenever you want. Nobody will observe what you're doing there, but you do the Ujjayi breathing. And it's very powerful breathing because it calms the mind and the body and also brings, again, the parasympathetic nervous system in work. So here we tighten the glottis area of the vocal cords. You see in the graphic there that is more position of this glottis. So we will be able to contract and relax this area deep inside of the throat and use the breath in and out through there. Take a moment now to connect with the breath into the nostrils as it goes into the throat, at the back of the neck, and as the throat is breathing in and out. Now, to be able to use this sound effectively and engage this glottis, I'm going to take you first into a technique that we're gonna breathe in and out to the mouth, like and then we close the mouth and we're gonna continue to breathe in that ha in and out way into the glottis. We can go back into our Zoom display so I can see you. And you can do it without sound. It still happens there. Just connect with the sound there in the throat, in your vocal cords. It's a pacifying sound. It's like the wave of the ocean sound. And what this one does also, it engages the Shushumna Nadi as Sri Devi spoke about. So then it engages more prana coming from within. Let's do it for half of a minute together in different ways. We can do it engaging again the complete breath as we did it at the beginning, and we can do it also in another style as I'm guiding to you after. So let's do the complete breathing with this one. Breathe out to the throat, in, out, in the throat, in, out. The same respiratory process it engage, but only that we use deeply the throat and not the nostrils now. In, In, out, in, out. Now we can do it with the thoracic breath, the bellows breath. In, less breath through the nostrils. In, out, in, and out. Now take a moment to observe this powerful process of the breathing exercise. And we end with such a beautiful breathing techniques that it can take us always in meditation. So it's always advised to use it if you want before meditation, during the meditation as Guruji is guiding you. And you see that it naturally happens inside of you. So with this, I'm giving thanks to your participation. I see you there in front of me, in me. I connect with you inside of me. And I was so pleased to do it here with you. And now I'm inviting back Sri Devi to take you into a beautiful process of movement and breathing. Namaskar, everyone. Enjoy the Sunday.
Namaskar again, everyone. And a total joy to see all of you so actively engaged in breathing. Now, I would like to invite all of us to stand as we combine breathing with movement. So let's begin by standing at hip distance or even at a distance that is comfortable for you. Toes are spread nice and wide on the ground, on your mat. And I just want to say that in this global health challenge, understanding how to breathe deeply in the chest, especially, is extremely important. Krishna Priya had just walked us through a beautiful process of that. And here we are going to continue with a technique called hands in and out breathing. Self explanatory, yes? Let's begin by bringing both of our arms up parallel to the ground. Ensure that your standing posture is nice and stable so you can feel both feet on the ground. Try as best as you can to relax your shoulders down and away from the ears. And also engage your abdominal muscles towards the floor. That means your pelvis is tilted slightly towards the floor. Now, we are going to engage the same ujjayi breath as we slowly inhale, expanding our arms out, not going beyond shoulder level, and using the same ujjayi breath as we exhale, bringing our palms back together again. Inhale. Think of your lungs, think of your heart. Nice open chest. Exhale. Breathing in. Slow and controlled. And out. Feel what this is doing to your entire system. Breathing in. And out. Putting our intention into every movement. Breathing in. Nice expansion in the chest. And out. In. Out. Nice deep breathing. In. Out. Few more times, breathing in. Really enjoying that stretch. And out. Nice deep ujjayi breath. You can feel the body heating up, breathing in. Out. Last time, breathing in. Maintain here for a few seconds. And out. Relax both arms down by the side. Close your eyes and just for a moment, let's feel. Ensure that your breathing, your inhales and your exhales are long, even, and notice what is happening in the body. Perhaps we feel more clarity in the chest. Perhaps we feel heat being generated in the entire system. Maybe our mind feels more clear. This is how each of our cells, all of the currents of energy, are being purified. Okay, when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Excellent. Let's continue. The next exercise is hands stretch breathing. How this will work is we'll clasp both of our hands and relax our palms against our chest. Again, our lower body is completely firm. And here we're going to engage the same ujjayi breath with the movement. So as we inhale, we allow our shoulders to come up. And as we exhale, we push our hands forward. Good. We inhale, bringing our hands back, deep ujjayi. Exhale, down. Good. Breathing in and out. In, out. Excellent. Breathing in and out. In, out. Excellent. In, out, in, out. Let's do this 3 more times, just feeling happy to breathe. Out, in, out. Excellent. Breathing in, out, in, out. Relax the hands down by the side, just for a moment, closing our eyes and observing. It's so important that we give ourselves the chance to feel after doing pranayama, because it's not just working our system on a physical level, but it is also impacting us energetically. So we take a moment to notice. Excellent. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Let's continue. This time, when we exhale, we are going to bring our palms up to forehead level, or what we call 135 degrees. But your head is going to remain in the same position. So your gaze is not going to look up at your palms, but it's going to stay right where it is. Let's do this together. Here we engage our palms together. Relax against the chest. We breathe in, coming up, out as we push the arms to the furthest extent. Breathe in, coming back, and out, down. Good. Deep ujjayi, breathing in and out. Even if your gaze looks at your palms, your head must stay in the same position. Breathing in, out. Excellent. In, out, in, out. Let's do this 3 more times. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Last one, breathing in, out, in, out. Relax the palms down by the sides of the body. Let's close our eyes and just observe. Feel what's happening in the body. Just being happy to breathe, to move the body, to work with total awareness. It doesn't matter how small the movement is, especially in pranayama. When we are doing this with so much attention, with deep breathing, and the willingness to want to move and cleanse the body, the benefits can be enormous. When you are ready, you can open your eyes. The last variation of this will be as we inhale, come up. As we exhale, we push our arms up to 180 degrees. Okay, but let's do this together. Let's begin with palms on our chest, elbows down and relaxed. Let's inhale, coming up, exhale, pushing up, inhale, coming down, exhale, breathing in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Let's do this 3 more times, breathing in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Last one, in, out, in, out. Relax the palms down by the sides. Let us close our eyes and observe. Notice the changes happening in the body. Notice the changes in our emotional space. Notice the changes in our mental field. Our sense of peace, and holding each of our cells in a huge field of love. Okay, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Now we're going to go into a little bit more of a dynamic movement. We are going to do Surya Namaskar, but sitting on our chair. That way, anyone watching from home can also join us in this practice. Surya Namaskar is such an effective practice for engaging the breath and also movement. Here we are working on balancing the left side and also the right side of the body, and also these energy currents that I had spoken about before, the Ida and the Pingala. Okay? So I invite us all to sit down. Okay, and let's begin by placing your toes together and your heels together. Just for a moment, let's roll the shoulders back and down, sitting up nice and tall. Good. We're going to begin with an inhale. Let's bring both of our palms at shoulder width. Coming up as we give a nice slight back bend. Inhale, looking up. Remember, nice deep ujjayi. As we exhale, let's bring both palms to the sides of the toes. Your head is down. This is an exhale. Let's inhale, bringing the right knee up, your heel on the chair. We look up. And as we exhale, we simply bring our forehead to our knee. Let's inhale, dropping the right leg down, bringing the arms back up. Nice back bend, looking up. As we exhale, we bring both of the palms to the sides of the feet. Deep ujjayi. As we inhale, we bring our left heel on the chair, head back. As we exhale, we bring our forehead to our knee. Let's inhale, releasing the left heel to the ground. Palms come up, nice back bend. As we exhale, we fold forward, palms beside the toes, head down. Inhale, bringing the right heel up on the chair, looking up. As we exhale, we bring our forehead to our knee. Inhale, releasing the right heel down, arms come up, looking up. Exhale, bringing both palms down to the ground. Inhale, left knee up, left heel on the chair, looking up. Exhale, bringing forehead to the knee. We inhale, releasing our heel to the ground, both arms up. Nice back bend, looking up. And we exhale, both palms to the floor. We do 4 more. Inhale, right knee onto the chair, right heel onto the chair, looking up. Exhale, forehead to the knee, deep ujjayi breath. Inhale, releasing the right leg, hands up, looking up. Exhale, both palms besides the feet. Feel the heat being generated in the body. Inhale, left heel onto the chair, head back, looking up. Exhale, forehead to the knee. Inhale, releasing left heel down, both arms coming up. Exhale, both palms coming down beside the toes. Inhale, right heel coming up, looking up. Exhale, forehead to the knee. Inhale, releasing the heel, both arms up, looking up. Exhale, both palms next to the feet. Inhale, left heel coming up onto the chair, looking up. Exhale, forehead towards the knee. Finally, we inhale, releasing the left heel down, both arms coming up to a nice back bend. And slowly we release both palms to our knees. Take a moment here and just observe how you feel. Observe the heat being generated in the body, all of the cells being energized. In this space and with the movement and the breath, our entire system becomes rejuvenated. We breathe into every part of the body, and we allow ourselves to feel fresh, energized, relaxed, and happy. When you are ready, you can open your eyes. For our final exercise in this breathing series, we will do alternate nostril breathing. And this is such an effective way for, again, bringing our energies back into one place and also for bringing total balance, the left side, the right side, the left energy channel, and also the right. So we begin by placing our thumb and index finger together on the left hand. This is called Chin Mudra. And we relax it simply on our left leg. On our right hand, we fold our index and middle finger, and we begin by closing our right nostril with our thumb. Let's close our eyes. Let us begin by exhaling through the left nostril. This is slow and controlled. We inhale through the left, close the left, exhale through the right. Inhale right, close right, exhale left. Inhale left, close left, exhale right. Inhale right, close right, exhale left. We'll do one more complete round. Inhale left, close left, exhale right. Inhale right, close right, exhale left. Release both mudras. Place your palms on your thighs. Let us close our eyes and just feel. In these moments, we are so grateful for our physical bodies, for carrying us through such a dynamic journey. We infuse all of our cells, all of our organs with so much loving attention. And we ask that whatever we gain in these sessions lift us and sustain us powerfully. We create a field of healing light that surrounds our entire body. And in this moment, before we close, we give thanks to all of the masters, our own Guru, Sri Vasudeva, for holding us in this healing light as we work with our bodies. With this, we bring both palms into our heart. And we ask for healing for each of us and for our entire world. We ask that when we feel nourished in our bodies, that everyone in the entire world may feel the same. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in these healing practices and for understanding the importance of using breath for maintaining total well being in the body. Would now like to ask our friends online or on Zoom to share any comments about your experience today, to share anything about how your body feels. And we would love to hear from you. It's been an absolute joy to connect with each of you. And please share with us your experiences from today. I also invite Krishna Priya back as well. Okay. Mm, no, it's okay. Any of our friends would like to say how you felt after the practice? You can feel free to share.
I think that everyone is still in deep meditation after this beautiful session
Wait,
that,
Gabriella raised her hand.
okay.
Gabriella, really nice to see you. Just 1 second. They're just going to, they'll give you the signal.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
It's a joy to join to this workshop. It's very good from this time. I feel very peaceful and energized and uh, too much balance because I have a little challenge in the morning after Guruji meditation. So now I'm thank you very much because it was very nice for me.
Okay.
It's a joy to be with you.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank you so much.
Gabriela. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Anybody else? Somebody else raised their hand? Ready? Okay. So thank you very much again, everyone. And we will keep you updated via our website or even sometimes when we stream on the next workshops for healing. We encourage each of you to take part in this journey with us. And we will also be filming our morning yogas every morning with all of the teachers here. So we wish you the most vital and beautiful day ahead. Whatever time it is in your country, we wish you the best. Take care, everyone, and namaskar.
Namaskar.